People often ask me what kind of games I like to play, and my answer is always anything. If it's got a good story, if it's action, adventure, RPG, first-person shooter, 2D platformer, whatever. If it's fun, I'll always give it a go. Today I want to show you a remake of a PS3 game that is very weird and unlike anything you've ever played. I played it back in 2011 and it's still one of my favorite games out there. So when I heard that they were doing a HD remake with a bunch of new content, I was so excited and I can't wait to share it with you today. So without further ado, let's check out Catherine Full Body.
夢でカンソルシート One, two, three, get sucked in my sheets これは現実、それが dream 混ざる密度のこんなクリーンつながる仕組みは変と変
Catherine is a game that is half climbing puzzle and half anime sitcom. You take on the role of Vincent Brooks, who is dating a woman named Catherine. And that's Catherine with a K. Vincent is a pretty simple guy. He works programming computers during the day and spends most of his nights drinking at the bar with his friends. One day while having lunch with his girlfriend, she talks to him about how they've been together for a few years and how she wants more from the relationship, like marriage and children. Naturally, Vincent needs some time to process this and heads to the bar with his friends. That night, Vincent has just one too many drinks and things take a turn for the worst. That's right. Vincent ends up cheating on his girlfriend Catherine with a blonde beauty that is also named Catherine, but that's Catherine with a C. And the game really takes off from here. Basically, Vincent is cursed, and every night he is thrown into a nightmare where he must climb for his life and his freedom. The dreams essentially take on a demonic representation of the choices Vincent is facing in his daily life. For example, marriage and babies. Now the gameplay in Catherine is simple but complex. Your objective is to climb, and how you get to the top is always a fun and interesting challenge. Every night the game mixes it up with a different curveball, whether it be blocks that have spikes coming out from them, or blocks that are made of ice where you end up sliding all over the place. It looks easy, but before you get halfway through the game, I guarantee you'll be scratching your head wondering how the hell to get to the top.
Alright, I got it.
Edge.
As far as the new content is concerned, in Full Body, the gameplay is mixed up with a variety of different puzzles in the new Remix mode. It basically incorporates new blocks and puzzles into the climbing sections, which increases the challenge. The story also introduces a third Catherine. Now that's Catherine with a Q, or Rin for short. So basically now you'll have a choice between Catherine with a K, who wants to settle down, have kids and a family. Catherine with a C is some scandalous fun who throws a bit more passion into Vincent's life. And then Rin, the sweet innocent person that just sees the world as a playground and likes making people happy. Full Body also expands on the previously established characters, giving us more insight into the relationship with the original Catherine and why Vincent fell in love with her in the first place. I thought all of these scenes were a welcome addition and made his relationship with her hold more weight instead of her just whinging about commitment.
Catherine?
There's something you want to tell me?
You are beautiful.
Catherine is a game that is all about choice, and the decisions you make throughout the game will determine how the story plays out. The game is equipped with a sort of moral good and evil gauge, and throughout the story you will regularly be asked questions by other people or even in your dreams. Even something as simple as ignoring a phone call or replying to a text message can affect which of the 13 endings you'll get. 8 years ago, this was my favourite part about Catherine, and it still is today. It was interesting to see how I've personally changed. 8 years ago, my choices got me much higher on the good scale, and this time around, not so much. I could barely move the needle slightly into the good section, so things played out very differently for me in the end.
This is the second question. Does life begin or end with marriage?
You've made your selection. I knew it!
I know I haven't touched on it too much in this video, but I love the moment-to-moment gameplay in Catherine. It was great to get to know all the characters again at the bar all over again and help them with their struggles. I also just can't get enough of the nightmare gameplay. Climbing these blocks is super addictive, and a lot of the remix blocks made the game even more challenging than it was before. I think I make it look easy, but there's so many different techniques and interesting ways to climb these blocks. Even after all the time I've spent playing over the years, there were still some spots that just stumped me and required a few tries to work out. I loved it.
New record. New record.
Well, it looks like that's it from me. Hopefully you've enjoyed the video, and hopefully you can agree that Catherine is one of the weirdest but also one of the funnest looking games ever, because I can't stress to you enough how much I really love this game. I think it's great. Its story is probably the most adult themed I've come across in my gaming life, and I hope you've seen enough to want to give it a go. If I can get even one more person to play it, that's a win for me. I didn't even end up talking about the additional Babylon content where you can play as Joker from Persona, or even how fun the multiplayer can be. But maybe we'll save that for a future Nick vs. Jeff. We'll see you next time.
Yo,夢でカンソルシーク One, two, three, get sucked in my sheets これは現実、それが dream 混ざる密度のこんなクリーン